Good morning. It's still morning here, right? I'm on Eastern time. Why don't you all move in a little closer and let's get close. That's better. That way I get to see all your beautiful faces. Well, thank you all for, can you all hear me? Thank you all for coming today, because when I looked at the schedule, you all had some really good choices besides coming to hear me speak. So I feel honored that you all showed up and are here to learn some fun stuff about personal style for your professional success. And I know, like I said, you had other opportunities, so thank you for being here. We're going to go through some fun stuff, and then we're going to have a little interaction and show you some fun things. So I hope that you enjoy it. You all have such a beautiful campus here. Oh my goodness. What little bit we've seen so far is just beautiful. And the weather is gorgeous. Am I not on, or?
This microphone here is, there you
go. Oh, okay. Oh, now you can hear me, can't you? You probably could have heard me before, but we'll go with that so you can make sure and don't miss a bit of this just intriguing presentation I'm going to do for you all today. How many have y'all been to other workshops this morning and more this afternoon coming up? Great. Well, I really thank you for making the choice to come here. I know all of you here at Wallace State are taking courses to prepare you for your professional success. How many of you already know what you're going to do when you graduate? Awesome, awesome. That just leaves a few of you that are undecided, and that's okay. But you're going to go into the professional world when you graduate somewhere, whatever it is that you may choose. And so I want to help you with adding another element to that, and that is in your personal style. So we're going to talk about that today, and it's important how you dress. I'm not here to give you any rules or do's or don'ts and that kind of thing, because we each have our very own personal, unique style. And I want to help you to figure out what that is today. In the short time that we have together, I want to be able to help you to figure out what your unique style is. And once you do that and determine what your best colors are, how to dress for your body shape, how to accessorize, then you can put outfits together that work for you. And you have your own style. We all have our own style personalities, but we want to make sure when we go out into the professional world that we are dressing appropriately for the jobs that we have. We have gone since COVID, we've gone so casual, but I'm glad to see some of the companies are getting back to having people come back in the office and in having to dress a little bit better. I say all the time, I travel all over and speak at organizations and women's groups and churches and corporate offices and that kind of thing. And I would love to be able to do a show in the airports, because I don't know how many of you all have flown recently, but it's amazing what people will show up at an airport wearing. And sometimes you can just sit back and watch a free show of what not to wear. Anybody remember watching that show with Stacy London? I actually took a course with Stacy London whenever she did that for just a little bit. So I went to New York and when I first got started doing this, and went with her and learned some things from her as I started my career in this field. I've been doing this for about 12 years now. This is my second act. My first act was in corporate America. I was a corporate executive for a healthcare organization for 20 plus years. So I've been in that corporate world, and I've seen the changes now that are being made, like I said, especially since COVID, and we've gone more relaxed. But my passion is to help you to figure out what your very own personal, unique style is, so that you will look good on the job, you will look good whenever you're going out on dates or to meetings, networking meetings, and all of those kinds of things. So that's the goal for today, just to develop that personal style that's going to give you that professional success that we all want. You need to dress for where you want to be, not for where you are now, but for where the goals that you set for where you want to be. So let's get started. The first impression. Why are first impressions so important? Because you are seen before you are heard. We don't want to create any visual obstacles when we meet someone for the first time. Nearly 70% of Americans believe that their clothing, hair, and makeup are extremely important for people to make a good first appearance on the job. A well-defined and consistent professional image can improve the perception of your professional abilities. So consistent, I kind of emphasize that because we need to be consistent in how we're dressing, because that sets that appearance that we want people to see us as. A person's appearance is a factor in nearly every major opinion or decision related to your job, ability to do your job, and the perceptions of clients, customers, and your coworkers. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, the first impression becomes the last impression. So we want to avoid that from happening. Take, for instance, this young lady. Not a very good first impression. Probably went to the restroom and has no idea she has toilet paper hanging out from her shoe. But the first impression is based 55% on appearance, 7% on the words that we use during the course of our conversation, and 38% on the tone of our voice. This shows that even before we get sufficient time to demonstrate our abilities and our skills, the first impression is already cast within a few seconds. And the main considerations for this is our impact of our clothes, our body language, and our attitude. During a telephone conversation, which if you're going out into a job, you're going to be using the telephone, it is based 70% on the opinion. 70% of the opinion is based on the tone of your voice and 30% on the words that you speak. So you see how important just the tone of your voice is over the words you're actually saying. How many of you ever called someone, called a business, and you can just tell by the way they say hello, they are not having a good day. And that carries on. And then if someone answers the phone and they are cheerful, they're pleasant, you can tell they're there to help you, they have a smile in their voice, you can tell that they are enjoying their job, they like what they do, and they're probably having a much better day. So you like doing business with those people over the phone much better than you do with the first one I described, right? All right, here's some more. These might be some image killers, as I like to say. People make a judgment of you in that first 7 seconds of meeting you. Now, we all like to say, oh, I don't judge, it doesn't matter what they wear. But we do. We look at someone and within first 7 seconds, probably when you saw me today, within 7 seconds, you kind of made a judgment of whether or not I was the right person to stand up here and talk to you all about professional style, right? So we all do that, and then we choose who we do business with a lot of times based on that first appearance. They look you over from head to toe. They're looking at your body language and how you react to them. So are you wearing distractive clothing? Is it too short, too low cut? Is it too tight, too baggy, too wrinkled, too messy? We're looking at that. In that first 7 seconds, you're looking at all of those things. Is your hair styled? Does it look like you just rolled out of bed? Do you wear appropriate makeup? Is your perfume overwhelming to others? That can be a big turnoff as well. You've walked up to someone and they about knock you over with the perfume. That is a good image killer too, or a bad image killer. Are you wearing a smile? I always say that's the most attractive curve you can have on your body is your smile, because that goes a long way in your presentation and how you're presenting yourself to others. So here's a little bit better image, not so much image killers, these are image wonders. First impressions are the groundworks to all your relationships, whether it's in the job or if you're meeting someone on a blind date or you're meeting some friends for dinner or whatever. That first impression is the groundwork to that relationship. We've all heard the expression, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So is your image and how you look representing the person that you want others to see? Are you representing your company the way that you want, that they would want you to? Employees are an extension of the corporate brand. So when companies hire you, you immediately become part of their brand. And I guarantee you they're going to want it to be a good reflection of their brand. So you have to be aware of that. And lots of companies sometimes will have uniforms that they want you to wear, specific kinds of colors or things that they want you to wear. But for the most part, you get to choose your own clothing and what you wear, but you need to do that in respect of the company that you work for. Companies now more than ever expect employees' personal brand to coincide with their corporate brand. So we kind of have to be careful about that. We need to be careful about that. All right, hello, my name is A Lasting First Impression. A confident personality is very important. There's a big difference in being confident and being cocky, though, so I want you to be aware of that. We need to be confident in who we are, and that is what I teach all people when you're dressing. I want you to dress with confidence. I want you to walk into that room and feel very confident in who you are and your knowledge that you have and the knowledge that you've gained through college and you're bringing into maybe your first time job. And I want you to be able to be confident in that, but we're all a little bit more confident when we're dressed in something that we really feel good about ourselves in, right? Your body language is a significant way in terms of your level of confidence. And have you ever seen anybody walk into a room and they're like this? That's not producing very good confidence to someone you're trying to impress, is it? But if you walk in there and your shoulders are back and your head's held high, then that makes a good impression. A lot of this is for when you're going even interviewing for a job. If you walk in there and you are very slouchy, you look like you just rolled out of bed, your clothes are all wrinkled, you halfway combed your hair, and you sit there, I don't care how smart you are and how many degrees you have, it is not going to make the impression that that company wants, knowing you're representing them. So the way you dress on interviews is ultimate important, and that carries on when you get the job, which you're more than likely going to get the job dressed in an appropriate way and where you took time to care about what you were looking like. I always used to say, if you walk into a business and you're trying to you pick someone that you want to do business with, you're going to probably go to someone that looks like they took enough time to, say you're going into a bank, you're taking out a loan. You're going to want to go to someone who looks professionally dressed as opposed to someone who doesn't, because you think if they don't care enough to take care of themselves to get dressed in the morning to come here and show up in a decent clothes and took time to brush their hair, then they're not going to take time when it comes to my money that I'm putting in their hands to finance. So you want to go to someone, I used to always say, you want to go to a hairstylist that has really good hair. You want to go to a gym where it looks like the person uses their gym and has been working out. That's the people you want to do business with that look like they care about their business and they're working their business. Dressing in a professional and stylish manner can give you a sense of confidence that is exhibited to others through your attitude and your actions. And it's not about how expensive your clothes are. I know you all are probably on budgets, being college students, and you can buy things my favorite places to shop are TJ Maxx and Marshalls. I love a good deal just as much as anyone, but it doesn't have to be expensive. But you can make those clothes look expensive. You can choose as high of a quality clothes as you can afford. And then as you advance in your business and because you've looked so good, doing so well, you're going to be promoted so many times that you can afford to go somewhere and buy a little bit higher end clothing. But until you can do that, you can do it on any type of budget and still look good. Think of yourself as you're wrapping the wrapping paper. When you're at Christmas and you see the beautifully wrapped packages, then you see some that maybe aren't so beautifully wrapped, you're going to go for that one that's really pretty and wrapped. And I want you to think of that as when you unwrap that package, you're unwrapping that diamond that's inside, and that diamond is you. And you have so much to offer to people that I want them to be able to see that. So what's going to make you stand out? Because while you all are in here studying, there are people at colleges all over the world studying to do the same things that you are doing. So you're going to be in competition with a lot of people. So we've got to do something that's going to make you stand out above the crowd, right? Well, there's an easier way than just standing on your head. So we want to look your best. How many of you woke up this morning, you looked in the mirror and you said, boy, I look good? Anybody? Oh, well, we may take more than my hours. One, all right, good for you. There's usually one person that has that confidence that does it. But we don't, because we're our own worst enemies. We look in that mirror, and particularly women. How many guys have I got in this group today? I applaud you all for being here, because it's just as important for men to dress well as it is for women. I might dismiss you a little early when we start talking about dressing for your body, but anyway, for now, color is just as important. But we're our own worst enemies. We pick out every flaw. Oh, I wish my chin was longer. Oh, I wish my nose wasn't as big. Oh, I hate that my hips are so wide. We all look at those things in the mirror and we just downplay ourselves. And that's terrible. I want you to look in that mirror and think, I look good. I can do this. I can go out and I can tackle the world, and I'm going to conquer everything I set out to do. I want you to have that kind of confidence. And a lot of that comes in how you dress and how you feel about yourself. I will have people come up to say, oh, I don't care how I dress. I'm just fine in my sweats. It's fine. But we all know, and we're lying if we say we don't, that you feel better when you're in clothes that you feel good about yourself in. Am I right? You feel much better that way, so it does make a difference. Now, I am fully a believer that what's on the inside is the most important. What's in our hearts is very much more important. But people don't meet our insides first. They meet our outsides, and so we have to have a good impression. So what statement are you making? What message are you sending? The way you look affects the way you think, the way you feel, the way you act, and people's perception of you before they have a chance to, like I said, to learn what's on the inside. So this can be a positive or a negative. It's a visual statement about your personality and your lifestyle, and a visual impression to others on how you are perceived. Putting in that little effort to take care of the way you present yourself automatically will shut down those negative notations. Positive self-presentation raises your confidence, capability, and credibility, and makes you more approachable, and then you earn that respect. The clothes you choose to wear speaks volumes about your values, attitudes, interest, personality, your sense of yourself, and how you think and feel about yourself, just like what I was describing a while ago. So 3 factors create your visual image. That's your dress and your clothing, your hair and your makeup, and your body language. That's your manners and the etiquette that you use. We want to dress in a way that people don't see our clothes when we walk in a room, but they see our faces. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit more when we're talking about choosing colors, but I don't want there to be any disconnects. I want when you walk in a room for people to see your face, see your clothing, all together, very cohesive, very consistent. We're mimicking what's going on up here through here, so that when Sally walks into a room and then walks out, I don't want people to say, wow, did you see that shirt Sally was wearing today? Or wow, did you see those shoes Sally was wearing? I want them to say, wow, didn't Sally look fabulous today? Because we're all together, put together. That's why that whole thing is so important that we're going to learn a little bit more about today. We want to, I want you to think about who you're representing and the person that you want others to see. And this is one of the most important points that I'll say today, is that I want you to dress the way you want to be addressed. I'm going to say that again. Dress the way you want to be addressed. I'm going to give you some tips and some guidelines to follow up on how to dress for your particular coloring and body shape based on your dominant color characteristics. So you have to wear something, right? We all got to go out of the house wearing something. So why not make it a positive influence and make it something that you're going to feel good in, you're going to feel confident about yourself, and you're going to make that good impression that's going to get you hired for the job, and then it's going to get you the promotions once you get into that job. So we're going to talk about colors. How we choose, I think I skipped one. Nope, okay. Cracking our color code. This is based on our dominant color characteristics. Now, I'm trained to do color analysis, and none of you are in this room are old enough to remember, but back in the 80s, there was a company called Color Me Beautiful, and your moms might have gone to that, or grandmas, where they pulled your hair back and they determined if you were a winter, summer, fall, or I guess they called it autumn, or spring. Well, that's one way to do color analysis, but I've been trained a different way that we feel like is much more accurate, and it takes more into consideration. So we all have dominant color characteristics, and that's our hair, skin, and eyes. When you see someone, that's immediately what you see. Usually you see the hair first, and then their skin and their eyes. So that's what your dominant color characteristics are. And remember when I said that I want you to dress based on what is going on up here. We want to dress in those same dominant color, like our same dominant color characteristics. The natural color of our complexion, our hair, and our eyes determines whether particular colors make us look radiant or washed out, youthful or aged, energized or exhausted. How many of you have had on something and you walked around all day and you got compliments all day long? People saying, well, you look good today. Wow, you really look good today, all day. You were probably in a very flattering color for your face, skin, and eyes. But has anybody said, wow, you must have stayed out partying too late last night, or, you're not feeling well today? And it was probably because you thought, well, I felt good, but you were in a color that wasn't right for you, and that made you look drained and washed out. Color is an amazing thing, and it can make such a huge difference in how we look and how we dress. So, y'all are going to have to work with me to have some fun, because we're going to do some interactive stuff here to determine what your best colors are. Now, I'll use myself as an example. I'm going to have to talk a little bit louder here. But based on my hair, skin, and eyes, then that's going to determine what color looks best on me. So if I put up these colors, these probably, can y'all see that? Do you think these look good on me? These are really good colors for me. But if I put this up, you don't have to be nice. I see every one of your heads going, good. See what a difference choosing the right colors can make? These colors wash me out. They're not very flattering on me. They're going to age me. You're going to see more dark circles and wrinkles and all those kind of things when I'm wearing these colors. But if I go back to my good colors, that lightens me up and brightens me up, right? I can see it in your eyes, so that's a good sign that I'm doing something right here. Now, as your color, if you change the color of your hair, that will change also what colors look best on you. About 2.5 years ago, I was very blonde, so colors look better on me. But I have gone through breast cancer, and I went through chemotherapy a couple of years ago, and my hair came back like this. And I just decided a lot of people were paying a lot of money to have their hair this color, so I've just kept it this way. But it changed what colors I'm going to wear a little bit. And so I had to choose that. So we have to go with, and lots of people say, do you go with the color of my hair like I color it, or the color that it naturally is? Well, we got to go with what you're wearing now and what it looks like now for your dominant color characteristics. So there's 6 categories. Let me go to this slide here. I've got my celebrities up there. Which celebrity dominant color characteristic are you most like? So I'm going to describe the 6 categories, and you can kind of figure out which one you're in. If you have very dark hair, dark brown, black hair, dark brown eyes, and kind of a medium complexion, then you're like Sandra Bullock up there, and you're called a deep. If your hair and skin and eyes kind of go together. There's not very much contrast. These girls usually describe their hair, and guys, as mousy brown or dishwater blonde. Medium skin tone, medium eyes. Then you're a Jennifer Aniston. And I do have some examples up here for you guys too. But there's very little contrast. So this person has soft coloring. If you have red hair and medium skin tone and usually blue or hazel eyes, then your hair is usually, for our redheads, that's what's most dominant. Then you are called a warm. If your hair is super blonde, like Reese Witherspoon here, very light fair skin and light colored eyes, then you are called a light. And just the opposite of Jennifer Aniston, her friend Jennifer Cox, or not Jennifer Cox, what's her name? Courtney Cox. That's right. Courtney Cox has the dark brown hair but bright blue eyes. I don't know if you can tell this one. Bright blue eyes and fair skin. She has some very high contrast going on between her hair, skin, and eyes. So that makes her a clear. Just the opposite of her friend Jennifer up there. And then for a silver-headed women, then that's usually the thing you notice most. Just like the redheads, you notice the silver hair or really white platinum hair. Then you are a cool, like Jamie Lee Curtis. So have you kind of got some ideas of what you might be? Well, we're going to bring 6 of you up on the stage, and I'm going to put color drapes on you so you can see. So do I have anybody in here that has really dark hair and dark brown eyes? Come on up. He was the first one to raise his hand. Now, everyone can wear blues, everyone can wear greens, everyone can wear reds. It's what makes the difference. Just have a seat right up here. What makes the difference is the tone and the shades of the colors. Let's see your eye. Oh yeah. All right. So we're going to put him in the deep.
I'm a little ticklish now.
A little ticklish, okay. I promise I won't. All right, so we want to mimic what's going on right here with the dark hair and the dark eyes and medium skin tone. We want to mimic that with these deep colors. If we put, you are a good sport. If we put these colors, we see a disconnect, right? But then look how much better that looks. All right, I'll use the light, which is just the opposite. Who in here's got really blonde hair? You come on up here. What color are your eyes? You sit right next to him. Okay, she's got really blonde hair. She's got the light blue eyes and fair to medium skin. So these colors that were the opposite over here for you are going to look much better on her, right? Getting some head shaking, that's good. All right, let me have, I doubt that we have any silver-headed ladies in here besides myself. So I could have done with just the 5 chairs. All right, but just the opposite, let me have you beautiful redhead come up here. You sit in the next chair. Now let's put, remember these colors that looked good on me? Not so much on her. You would look beautiful in anything, but there's more. Y'all are such a quiet group. You gotta liven this party up. But look how pretty that looks on her. Remember how it looked on me? But look how beautiful that looks on her. Okay, we're going to put our imaginary cool person right there. See how good that looks on? There you go. All right. Now then, do I have anybody in here that has really dark hair? Oh, you're falling off?
Just a little bit. Thank you.
Really dark hair, but bright blue or green eyes and fair skin. What color the person right behind you? What color are your eyes? You. No, right here. One behind you. Brown. Okay. But you might still be in the, what? Okay, well, come on up here. What color are your eyes?
They're like hazel, they're like greenish.
Okay,
Light blue.
let's see right here. All right, because there's a higher contrast in her dark hair and her lighter eyes, then these bright colors are going to look better on her. I want you to come up here too, though, for me, please. Because there can be two kinds of clear. Here, you can take the place of my invisible. Because you have really dark eyes, right? Dark hair and dark eyes, but she's very fair skin complexion, right? So you see the high contrast here with her as well, because sometimes we call this the Snow White effect. You know, the really dark brown eyes, dark brown hair, then these clear colors are going to look good on her too, because she's a little bit higher contrast even than she is. Does that make sense? Do y'all see what I'm saying? So either one of these girls, either one of these girls are going to look great in the higher contrast. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about what this means in just a second once we get our drapes. So y'all just have to kind of share this straight. There you go. You hold one end, you hold the other. How's that? All right. It's all about improvisation, right? All right. Someone that describes your hair as dishwater blonde, kind of mousy brown. Come on up. What color are your eyes? Awesome. All right, our Jennifer Aniston here, we are going to put in this soft coloring. I'm going to borrow your all's drape again in a second. See what happens when we put the bright colors on her? It's too bright. You see a disconnect. When you have this beautiful soft coloring with her hair, skin, and eyes, and then we put these bright, high contrast colors on her, it's not going to look nearly as well as when we do the soft. Did y'all see that? Okay, sorry, I messed y'all up. There you go. All right, so hopefully you all have got a pretty good eye on what coloring you are and can see what a difference. Can you see what a difference the putting the right colors on can make in someone? Where that can make a really good first impression. If I was to walk into a job interview or come to work and I'm wearing these colors, I'm going to get the same impression that I saw on so many of your all's faces when you went, eh. So why would I do that when I can choose to wear these colors, which is going to really make me be much brighter, shine more, and I'm going to have a lot more confidence walking into the room wearing this than I would when I'm wearing the wrong colors. So if you figured out kind of what color code you're in, then I'm going to tell you a little bit about each one and what you should and shouldn't wear. All right, for our deeps right here, you've got this deep dark coloring, so I want you to stay away from muted colors. I want you to wear the deep, rich colors. That's what's going to look the very best, these beautiful, deep, rich colors to bring out that richness in your face, skin, and eyes. Black's going to look good for you as a good neutral, as well as a deep chocolate brown or something like that. And then you can wear white or ivory, and you can wear silver or gold jewelry. For our lights, we're going to stay away from the really dark or really bright colors, and we want to wear things that are light to medium intensity, a much more softer shades. And you can wear, the lighter your hair is, the more you could wear some contrasting colors. But you're pretty much a perfect light, and we want to keep you in those colors. Black is not your BFF, but you can do it, but I would probably steer you away from it. Your best neutrals are going to be charcoal, and then black or brown. Then gray or dark brown, light brown, sorry. You can wear white or ivory, and you can do silver or gold accessories. For our warms, the number one color for you to stay away from is pink. Pink is my favorite color, but pink is not the most flattering color for our redheads. I want you to think the beautiful autumn colors that we're seeing on all the leaves right now, those are going to be your very best colors. Brown is going to be probably your best neutral. And I would tell you to wear ivory, and I'm telling this to them, but also to all of you that have figured out what you are out there. Ivory is going to be better than pure white, and gold jewelry is going to be best. All these little things makes a big difference. And then for our clears down there, then we say you should never highlight your hair. So we like the dark color that you've got going on. And we want you to stay away from the muted colors. Stay away from the browns and the more muted oranges and yellows and those. We want you to go really bright, high contrast colors. That's going to make you shine the very best. Pure white is going to be better for you than ivory. And silver accessories are probably going to be better, but you could do gold if you do the really shiny gold. Think bright colors, high contrast colors to mimic that high contrast that's going on with your hair, skin, and eyes. And then we've got our softs down there. How many of you thought you might be a soft? That's usually one of the most popular colors. Then the number one color I want you to stay away from, I want all my softs to raise your right hand and say, I promise I will never ever wear black again. I know. It's okay. Really. You'll get over it. It's fine. Black, if we put black on someone with a soft coloring, I got you so upset you're dropping your drape and everything. But if we put black, see how harsh that becomes? And as you get older, when you wear black, it's going to age you a lot. So we want to stay away from that dark black and stick with the softer colors. So browns are going to be better. Maybe a tan or a camel is going to be better for your neutral colors. Charcoal gray or brown. You can wear white or ivory, and you can do silver or gold accessories. But we just want to stay away from those really dark colors that's going to drain you. Your best neutral is going to be navy. And I know we all want to wear black because we think that's slimming, but navy can do exact same thing. And navy's becoming much more popular than it ever was. So that's going to just be a little less harsh and much more flattering for you. All right. See, I've got other guys. There you go. So you can choose what you are. All right. Is everybody clear on colors? No pun intended. But everybody see what a difference that can make? All right, thank you. Y'all were great models.
Hold on. I need to watch.
Oh, I should have brought my phone.
Did you get a good picture with everybody? That's awesome. Thank you. You're welcome. Y'all did great. Great models. All right, so I've got a little bit more time. I wasn't sure how much time that would take and how much time we would have. So we're going to talk about body shapes. So guys, if you want to dismiss, we're going to talk about body shapes, and y'all probably don't want to hear this. So I'll give you all a second for you all to go on and get to sneak out a little bit early. And then girls, we'll talk about dressing for your body shape. Yes, sir.
We'll need the code before we can leave.
I'm sorry.
The QR.
Oh, sorry to say, they didn't tell me about a QR code. Well, that's good. Sounds important, though, so I'm glad you're going to get that. All right. So now that it's just us girls, we're going to talk about body shapes. And I know your bodies are still changing in that, but I wanted to give you just a few little tips on how important it is to dress for your body shape. Looking your best means learning what your body shape is and dressing for it so that we are in balance. Dressing for your body shape is all about balance. Choosing the best colors is the first step. And how many of you like to go shopping? Good, I figured this crowd might like to shop. Some people don't though, because you get frustrated and you go in the stores and there's just nothing, and you either leave with a bag full of clothes and you get home and get frustrated because they didn't look like on you what they looked like on the mannequin, or you just leave there with nothing at all. Or you have a closet full of clothes you can't wear, or you don't think that you can wear. So you choose the best colors. When I go into a store, I automatically am going to go to the blues and the pinks and the purples, and I'm going to avoid the oranges and the browns and the tans and those colors. And then I start looking for clothes for my particular body shape. And your body shapes, I promise you, will change multiple times the older that you get. When you start to have babies, when you go through menopause, if you've been through cancer or some other illness that is in your own medications and those kind of things, your body is going to change. So we have to dress for the body that we have now, not the one that we used to have and not the one that we all want to have. So learning how to do that with balance is the key. We can't dress, like I said, for the body that we want to have. We've got to dress for what I have people say, I'm going to hire you to come help me when I lose 20 pounds. Well, what are you going to do in the meantime? Just look frumpy till you lose 20 pounds? So we want to make sure that you are dressing for your specific body shape. So if I told you to hold your hands up like this, and I want you to put them on the area of your body, which I call as your challenge area, where you feel like you gain weight, if you gain weight, where is that area? All right, you either went to 1 or 4 different places. Some of you went right here, you gain in your belly, so you're a B body type. Or you went here, you gain in your derriere, so you are a D body type. Some of you may have gone up here, which we call O body types, overly endowed. Or some of you are still out there trying to figure out where to put your hands because you gain your weight evenly all over. And that means you're very well balanced and you are an X body type. We all want to dress to be X's. So that's where we try to learn how to dress for our specific body shape. Remember, the size is just a number. It's just a number on a tag. Do not let that bother you, and if it does, just cut it out. I have my best friend is almost 6 foot tall. She wears a size 14. She says she just wants to cut out the one, then she's a size 4. So you can do that little trick, but just I don't want you to get focused on the number on the tag. That does not define who you are. And designers now are making clothes so different that you can have 3 different sizes in your closet and they all fit. So you can't go by that number in the tag anyway. You need to try things on. Remember that just because it's in style does not mean it's your style. And just because it zips does not mean it fits. So I want you to think about your body shape, and we're going to go over that really quickly here. For the B body type, that means that typically you are balanced shoulders and hips. You gain your weight in your belly. And if I had time, I'd bring some of you up on stage and show. Usually when I turn the B body types around, they are flat as a pancake in the rear end. You don't have much of a derriere. That this is where you gain, and as you get older, I promise you will start to get little muffin tops, and sometimes it turns into pound cakes and whatever, but you have to dress for that. So usually you're pretty straight figured, not too much in the rear, like I said. Then for our D body types, you are gaining your weight in your hips and your thighs and your derriere. You probably have a narrow waist and narrow to medium-sized shoulders. Usually for a D body type, your shoulders are much more narrow than your hips. So you're kind of like this. Minimal bust line, but you've got a full bottom and derriere. For our O body types, like I said, that's usually we gain our weight here, rounded more in the top and the front, fuller figure, nice legs. Our O body types usually have great legs, and can be usually probably a size 14 or up. For our X body shapes, remember these are the ones that I said are very well balanced already. That means your shoulders and your hips are balanced. You gain your weight evenly all over. Most of you probably in this room are X body types already, but you're balanced in your proportions. So determining what your best body shape is, and I'll just go over a few of these as we go along if you've determined where your area is. Your shoulders and hips are the same. you look kind of square to look at your body. So we don't want to, one thing that I've never allowed any client to ever say to me is that you're ugly or that you're fat, because I see you as beautiful women, and I want you to see yourself as that. We're not fat. Some of us might just have a little more fluff than others, and we don't want to decorate the fluff. So that's why you want no belts around your waist, because that's your challenge area. So we don't want to put a belt on there that's going to decorate that fluff. I was in a networking meeting one time, and a lady came in very nicely dressed. She had on a beautiful skirt and a blouse and a jacket, but she gained her weight in her belly, and she had this big floral belt right here. So that's where everybody's attention was going. And I guarantee you that's not where she wanted everybody's eyes to be going. So all she would have had to have done is take that belt off of her. And no, I did not run up to her and take the belt off, but I wanted to. But take that belt off, and then it would have looked much more well balanced, and she would have been much more appealing to not be decorating the fluff. 3/4 inch sleeves will make everyone look 10 pounds thinner. It's particularly good for people that do gain their weight in the belly, because if you push your sleeves up to the 3/4 inch length, then that gives the illusion of a waist, where most people who gain their weight in their bellies don't have a very well-defined waist. But if you push your sleeves up, then that's going to give you a more defined waist. Your shirts and your jackets should always cover whatever your challenge area. So for a B body type, you want them to come just below your tummy. Wear V-necks. Monochromatic dressing is a good thing. Column dressing is when you're wearing 3 pieces of clothes. And if I was dressed for a B body type today, I would probably have on black pants and a black top, but then a pop of color in my jacket, because I've created a column, which is slimming. For our D body types, you have the narrow shoulders. So you want to create balance between your shoulders and your hips. So pants maybe with a little bit of a flared leg. You don't want pants that hug your hips or thighs. Just like we didn't want the belts around the B body types, we don't want to have the tightness in the area where we are the most challenged. We don't want to do a V-neck on a D body type, because you're already more narrow shouldered, and if you do a V-neck on someone that gains in their hips, that's just going to make this up here look more narrow than this here, and we want it to be balanced, remember. Shoulder pads are great. If you have no shoulders, and I'm not talking about linebacker shoulder pads, but shoulder pads came back in last season, and you can buy them at, I have no shoulders whatsoever. These have shoulder pads built in them, because I want to create some balance up here to match down here. Does that make sense? Y'all feel free to ask questions too. If you are not careful, when you walk into a room and you gain your weight up here, I apologize to the one man sitting back there who has to listen to all this, but if you walk into a room and you're overly endowed, particularly if you have on a solid color t-shirt, then people's eyes are going to go 2 places, and that's not where you want them to go. So if you're overly endowed, I recommend wearing prints. They work as a camouflage. So that's great for someone that may be overly endowed. You want your jackets kind of have a swing to them. You don't want to wear anything that's too tight or too boxy. And again, that 3/4 inch sleeves is going to look fabulous on you. Then if you're an X, you can be a big X or a little X, it doesn't matter. You just want to be balanced. So the goal is to stay balanced, not too sloppy or too sexy. Don't wear things that are too tight or too loose. Maybe a straight leg pant, fuller tops over skinnier bottoms, or more fitted tops over fuller leg pants. I always say if you're going to wear a flowy top, don't wear flowy bottoms, because flowy on top of flowy equals frumpy. That's my fashion math. But you want to make sure if you're wearing more flowy pants, like Palazzo pants or something, that you wear a fitted top. And if you're going to wear straight leg jeans, then wear an even leggings. And yes, you can wear leggings. They are not pants. But just make sure you're wearing a top that comes down far enough over those leggings. The older you get, the thicker the material is much better. I mean, they're really cute with the boots that are really trending right now, the higher knee boots, those kind of things. Just be very, very careful when you're wearing those. A good length for your tops is whenever you stand like this and you kind of cup your hands a little bit, that the top comes to right there where your hands are. If you're just wearing a blouse and a pair of pants or something. So you can draw the attention to the center of your body if you're an X. So we all want to dress in balance to be an X. Does that make sense? Do y'all have any questions about any of that? Look what a difference in these two ladies, well, it's the same lady, but wearing the style on the right versus the style on the left. See what a difference wearing the same outfit, but just made a little bit differently, can make in the difference in how she looks. Even the turtleneck versus down here, where her jacket is ending. You don't ever want your jacket or your sweaters or cardigans or whatever to end at your widest point. So if you gain weight in your belly, then you don't want them to end right there at your belly. If you gain weight in your derriere, you don't want them to end right here. Whatever the widest part of your body is, we don't want our clothes to end there. Undergarments, all I'm going to say about that is undergarments are to be worn under your garment. Really, really important on that. I know the styles have been sometimes to let the bra straps show in and all of that, but no. Bras are your foundation to your garments, and it's really important that you get a proper bra fitting. I know that you all are younger, but it's still important to start out young, that we all wear bras. We want them to make sure that they fit properly. 1 out of 10 women are wearing the wrong size bra. So find a place, maybe your local department store. Is there a Soma intimate store around anywhere close to here? Those are a great place to go to get measured for a bra. But make sure you're getting measured. Good rule of thumb is if you hold your arm like this, you want your girls to be right smack in the center of your elbow and your shoulder. Sometimes it just means you need to adjust your straps to pull them up a little bit. But make sure you're invest when you can in a really good bra or two, because that's the foundation under your clothing, and that's going to make a big difference in how you look. So I'll make sure that you all do that. Let's talk about hemlines for just a second. The best hemline is going to be whatever works best for you. And that is when you stand. Can I have you come up here for a second and be my model? You. Mm-hmm. Because I think you can see it better with the leggings you have on. You can come up front here. I want you to stand here with your heels together and your feet at 10 and 2 o'clock. So do your feet out like that. There you go. When you get home and you look in your full-length mirrors, you will see that she has diamond openings in her legs. Do you see that? Those diamond. The most flattering hem length is going to be, whether for it's your shorts, your skirts, your dresses, pants, is when the hem is right in the center of your diamond. So for shorts, you might want to go right there, right in the center of her diamond. Skirt lengths can be here, Pant length, ankle pants are going to always be the best. And see where that's right smack in the center of her diamond. So also, if you get home and you look in the mirror and you think, well, I don't have diamonds, I don't see any diamond openings, then it's called the Chanel length. It's right there at your knees where they go in just a little bit. It's called the Chanel length, and that's going to be flattering on most everyone. But just because maybe the longer skirts are in style, or maybe a shorter skirt, you need to look specifically for you, what's going to work best for you, and what's going to work best is when it fits right in the center of that diamond. Thank you. And that's when you get into, like I said, really getting into your unique style. What works for your friend may not work for you. It's really important that you choose the clothes that are going to work best for you. All right, one other thing, and then I'm going to close, and that's the third thing in dressing, and that's you choose your best colors, you choose for your body shape, and then you accessorize for your frame size. So you want to choose your accessories, and when I say accessories, I mean your jewelry, your print size, and your handbags. I want them to be in proportion to your frame size. How many of you in here are 5'2" or shorter? Say hello to our glamour girls in the room. How many of you are 5'3" to 5'7"? Hello, movie stars. And how many of you are 5'8" or taller? These are our rock stars in the room. What that means, we get them cute little titles, but if you're a glamour girl, then you're more petite. Then I want you to wear the smaller size prints, carry a smaller handbag, and for your jewelry, make sure it's more dainty. If you are 5'2" and you come in carrying a handbag that's the size of Texas, then when you leave that room, they're going to say, wow, did you look at her handbag? Because that's all they're going to see. You want it to be in proportion to your frame size. If my 6 foot tall friend comes walking in a room and she's wearing teeny tiny little polka dots, is that going to make her look bigger or smaller? It's going to make her look bigger. So she needs to wear the big and bold prints. She needs to carry a bigger handbag, bigger, bolder jewelry. So if you determined you're a glamour girl, think more the small and the petite sizes in your prints, your handbags, and your accessories. If you are a movie star, you can go medium to large in all of those things, and that's going to be the most flattering. If you're a rock star, go bigger and bolder. Does that make sense? You want to keep it in proportion to your frame size. And I'll close with this. If you had to choose one color handbag to carry all the time, which I call your go-to handbag, what color would you choose? Black, black, black. No, no, no. You said black, black, black. I want you to choose, now this is your go-to handbag that you're going to carry the majority of the time. I want it to match your hair color. I see some, That's going to be the most flattering look. Now you can carry one of your bold colors that's in your color code, and that will be fine too, but the most flattering look is going to be, yes, look right there. Perfect example you're holding there with my red-headed friend. Stand up and hold your bag. Or was that her bag you were holding? Look at that. But now then, has someone got a really light colored handbag or a black handbag that she can hold up? Yeah, let her hold that. Oh, that one right there. Well, that might work because it's got the stripe in there. Let's get that black bag over here. Now she's got on darker colors, but that's not going to look nearly as good as the one that matched her hair color. Same thing for your shoes. If I was going to a wedding and I had this stunning purple dress I was going to wear to a wedding, and I had two choices pretty much on my shoes. It's either going to be, if I had some killer purple shoes, that would probably be number one choice, but otherwise it's going to be black or maybe silver. If I choose the silver shoes, then I have just created a picture frame with my hair and the shoes being the same and me in the middle. So then it looks very cohesive, very consistent from top to bottom. But if I choose really dark black shoes or something, or even brown shoes, people are going to look at my feet and think something's off, it's not off. So then we go back to creating that very personalized, unique style where everything is cohesive and it looks your very best. I think I got just a couple minutes if anybody has any questions. I know that was a lot to cover in a short period of time, but I wanted to get as much in as I possibly could so that you could get the idea of how important that first impression is going to be and how important it is to care about what you look like, and that carries on into everything else that you do. I want you to be able to dress in your best colors, dress for your particular body shape, accessorize for your frame size, and go into any interview or any job and feel very confident in who you are. And then you can show them how smart you are with all of your knowledge, but you have made that good first impression that sets the tone for the rest of the time that you're there. Any questions? All right, that means I did a good job, right? Thank you all. Thank you for taking your time to choose my class and to be here. And I'll hang around for a few minutes if you want to come ask me something. Thank you.